It's Wednesday, September 12th, and the talk is live. Bracing for catastrophe, monster Hurricane Florence is headed for the Carolinas. More than 1 million people are evacuating, but why are some residents refusing to leave their homes? Elizabeth Smart outrage. One of her convicted kidnappers, who abducted her at the age of 14 and held her captive, is set to be released from prison next Wednesday, years earlier than expected. Can she be kept behind bars? Ben Affleck takes a break from rehab for alcohol abuse to hang out with his rumored Playboy model girlfriend, who admits she loves to drink and party. Find out why Sally Field is relieved Burt Reynolds is no longer alive to read her tell-all memoir. Then, the hilarious host of Network TV's most-watched daytime show, The Price is Right, Drew Carey, is here. Plus, another loyal fan of The Talk gets to join our conversation live in our home viewer table takeover. And she's Stephanie Tanner from the hit show Fuller House. The wonderful Jodie Sweetin is our guest co-host. So, let's start talking.
We can talk it out. So what you got if you don't live loud? We're together now, so let's talk it out.
Table again today is our very good friend Jodie Sweetin from the hit show Fuller House. Now, let's get started with Hurricane Florence. The Category 4 storm is headed to the Carolinas, and more than 1 million people are evacuating. But some residents say they just won't leave. Take a look.
I haven't been through one this strong, so, safety first.
It's definitely been a learning experience, but we're definitely going to get out of here better safe than sorry.
But there are always those people like Mike White and his 8 neighbors who have stocked up on essentials and plan to ride out Florence.
You're not worried about staying behind?
No.
Okay, wish us well.
If you were in this situation, would you evacuate or stay home?
But you know what? I kind of get both thoughts of this. So you feel like, look, I've been through this before. I've survived one. I got my food. I got my supplies. God is with me. I can make it out. But what happens for me that I see is it stresses out the first responders who have to come back in and rescue you. So you're not just thinking about yourself. So when the authorities say you need to evacuate, but also it's your pets, it's people who are older. And I know people feel like, but my business, but my home, my property, I don't want it to blow over and then all of my stuff is destroyed and looted and everything. I get that feeling, but sometimes you got to do what the authorities are asking, because when you get in harm's way,
if you don't survive, the business and the house isn't going to mean much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you lose your life, you lose everything.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I was thinking? Sorry. You know what I was thinking about when you say, as far as the getting out. Some people, and we talked about this backstage, is some people don't have the means to get out.
That's right.
And I was wondering if, I don't know if the government ever does provide
Buses
like buses or something like that, just to help those other people.
What
Because some
about
people can't.
Yeah, what about the elderly?
Yeah.
What do they do? And people
Yeah.
who can't drive,
Yeah.
they must lay on emergency services.
One thing I read in this story is that they went to the convalescent homes and places where people who weren't very mobile, and they evacuated them first. But you're right, to be mobile takes money. To rent a car, to buy food and gas, to take pets and valuables. You got to have a bag ready. We're going through catastrophic fires here, and we must be ready for earthquakes on the West Coast, but you've got to be ready. But this is the time where neighbors need to support neighbors, church vans need to be used, people need to come together, check on people, and maybe put a sign up, we have evacuated, and then let the neighborhoods all come together, and then let the authorities know we've evacuated, everybody's safe.
Well, we wish you all well. You're in our prayers. Now Now to the strange new twist in the Elizabeth Smart case. You may recall she was abducted from her own bedroom in 2002 by married kidnappers. Elizabeth, who was just 14 at the time, was held for 9 months. The kidnappers were convicted and were presumed to be behind bars for a long time. CBS News picks up the story from there.
72-year-old Wanda Barzee, who pleaded guilty to helping her husband, Brian David Mitchell, kidnap Smart and hold her hostage, will soon be a free woman. In 2010, Barzee was convicted of both federal and state crimes. After completing her federal sentence in 2016, she began serving her state sentence. But in a stunning announcement on Tuesday, the Utah Board of Pardons and Parole says it miscalculated her state sentence. Now, instead of a release in 2024, she'll go free on September 19th.
The board must count her federal time concurrently with her state sentence.
In a statement, Smart said, in part, it is incomprehensible how someone who has not cooperated with her mental health evaluations can be released into our community.
I mean, it's almost ridiculous to ask this question, but the question is, do you think this woman should be freed?
No. Look, I know I make fun of certain things, but you just have to look at pictures of her. You can tell she's not the full shilling. She's not all there. You just look at her eyes, and she's not all there. It's, I think they're making a big mistake by doing
Well, and if
this.
she hasn't cooperated with
Right.
the
And why
son,
did she
why-
let her out?
And I feel like it's been, what, 8 years since she was convicted? I think it's in 2010. I mean, you took 9 months of a child's life and kidnapped her along with somebody else. Like,
Terrified her.
This, you thought about this and planned this out. And even if you're not in the right mental state, like, you can't. I feel like I see people, with drug charges and things that are far less violent and heinous that get way less time.
Well,
like,
people get 30 years for non-violent crimes.
Yeah.
Like you said, you've terrorized this person's family.
It's not even, there's no excuse for any of these kinds of crimes, but it's not even like a crime of passion, right? Where somebody loses it in a moment, and you can go, oh, they've spent 20 years in jail, and perhaps that one moment they did just lose their sanity.
Right.
This is something where it was premeditated. They stole a child out of her bed. They tortured her for 9 months. How is this person ever going to be in their right mind?
And I think if she had participated in her mental evaluations, you would have determined if she was a victim of this man herself, and if she felt that she had to do it or something. So then you could go from there. But because she did not participate in her evaluations, I don't think that it's the law may be the law, but this is the time that the law needs to be reevaluated.
Right. Yeah.
Well, because you don't know.
By the way, here's the evaluation. She's not well.
She's not
But before we rush to judgment on she's not well, there are steps to determine if she's well. And on a state level, you need to change the laws so that you determine that a person because first of all, the only reason she's out is because of miscalculation. She's not out because they said she would have stayed in from 2024 if they had not miscalculated. So now it's time for us as citizens to make sure that we go to the polls and elect people who will change the laws and make sure that this never happens again.
Now, Ben Affleck is apparently taking a break from his 3rd stint in rehab for alcohol addiction to hang out with his party-loving girlfriend. According to the Daily Mail magazine, Ben has been spotted with Playboy model Shauna Sexton working out together at his house. When Shauna posted a photo of herself drinking red wine, commenters accused her of being a bad influence on Ben. Now, she defended herself, claiming she never drinks around him and saying she regrets being arrested for underage drinking and public intoxication in the past. What do you guys think?
I feel like I know what you guys think. I mean, I don't know either of them personally, obviously, so I can't really comment on them as people, but I do know that when you're in treatment and going through all of that, like, you need to be very serious and very focused and sort of change the people you hang out with, the places you go to, all of that familiar stuff. you really need to focus on that for a while. And I guess my concern is that I don't feel like he's been there very long to really refocus his energy and sort of, you know, eliminate the old people, old places, old
Jodie,
things,
don't you think that this is a time for tough love?
Yeah.
And that
That's
is
right.
not.
And it's hard.
It's not.
It's not easy.
Hey, listen.
It's not easy.
If you're. Listen, I know from experience dealing with a problem that runs in our family, unfortunately, and there has to be a time where you just say, it's enough is enough. I just cannot take this anymore. And again, I don't know these people at all, but I do think that if he was serious, you wouldn't see pictures of him hanging in Malibu. You wouldn't see pictures of him working out at home.
Years ago, I was in a relationship with a guy who actually broke up with me because he was serious about his sobriety. And he actually said to me, look, I'm on this path, and I love you, and I want to be with you, but this is what I need to do. Either you're on this path with me, or I have to let you go. And I just wasn't in that place where he was, and I respected him, and he let me go, and I get it, and he did amazing. So sometimes you do have to.
And
it's hard. And it's hard for him, I'm
just
sure.
not there yet. He's just not there. And so, you know what? It's like, I feel really, really badly for his family, for his kids, for the whole family, because I don't think it's going to end well.
Well, hopefully he will figure it out. We'll be right back.
If you like the way I talk, then why am I on your mind? If we don't mess this whole thing up, guaranteed I can blow your mind. Mwah.
Super bold, super smooth, super lustrous lipstick. Revlon, live boldly.
Come on now.
Do these moves look familiar? Then you might have a condition called dry mouth. Biotin is clinically proven to soothe and moisturize a dry mouth, plus it freshens breath. Biotin, immediate and long-lasting dry mouth symptom relief.
Ever since Daryl's family started using Gain Flings, their laundry smells more amazing than ever.
Honey, isn't that the dog's towel?
Hey, me towel? Sue towel. More Gain scent plus Oxy Boost and Febreze makes Gain Flings our best gain ever. Gain, seriously good scent.
Nutro. Non-GMO ingredients, no artificial flavors. All the energy dogs need and nothing they don't. Nutro. Feed clean.
They're all going in the same direction, but in very different ways. And Pampers gives all of them our driest, best-fitting diaper. Pampers Cruisers with three-way fit. They adapt at the waist, legs, and bottom, with up to 12 hours of protection for all the freedom to move their way in Pampers Cruisers. Only Pampers diapers are the #1 choice of hospitals, nurses, and parents.
Buy One, Take One is back at Olive Garden. Starting at just $12.99. Enjoy one of your favorites with us. And take one home for free. Buy one, take one for a limited time, only at Olive Garden.
Lighten up with Feria Extreme Platinum Hair Color by L'Oreal. Lightens hair up to 7 levels. Feria is ammonia-free with conditioning oil. Never dull, never flat. Live in color. Live in Feria Extreme Platinum by L'Oreal Paris.
Join us for 40 years of Sunday morning this Friday night.
This fall, I'm ready. Blue Bloods returns.
What do you got?
I'm right behind you!
Eddie!
Sally Field's new memoir, In Pieces, hits bookstores next Tuesday. In it, she reveals for the first time that she was molested by her stepfather as a child. She also opens up about her intense 5-year relationship with Burt Reynolds, who tragically died last week of cardiac arrest. Sally tells the New York Times she's relieved Reynolds won't get the chance to read her book, saying, in quote, "This would hurt him. I felt glad that he wasn't going to read it. He wasn't going to be asked about it, and he wasn't going to have to defend himself or lash out, which he probably would have. I did not want to hurt him any further." Who would you not want to read your memoir? Ladies.
You know, I honestly, it's funny because when we were talking about this, I was like, who would I not want to? The only person, and we talked about this too, is my mom.
Yeah.
Only because it's my mom.
Right.
And like, she might read some stuff that she'd be like, oh Lord. But she also, at the same time, she knows me. I am her daughter. Anybody else I write about though, it's my truth. And if it's the truth and you see something that hurts your feelings, it's your fault.
Right. I remember when my book came out and I had written everything, I almost didn't consider the fact that my mom would read the book, and I remember she did, and I was like, oh, I think because it is your truth, you don't want to disappoint the people in your life that love you, and yet at the same time, you know that they'll love you anyway, but you're like, oh, I just don't want you to read about it. Like, it's different when they see it on paper, you know?
I don't want anyone to read about it.
Why? I know. There is a freedom in it, though. There is definitely a freedom in it once you put all that stuff down and everyone in your life knows about you. Like,
Yeah.
But the thing is, too, in situations, especially with families, you all see a situation so differently.
Right.
And it's like watching an accident. You'll all report an accident, the same accident, so differently.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it is, you know? And so when you recall stories and people that have hurt you and things like that, the people that have hurt you go, but I didn't hurt you. You know, it wasn't like that. Well, to me, it was.
Right.
So it's...
I have a couple issues. One is that I don't remember anything. So I don't even know what I would write down.
Selective memory.
So selective. I have like 3 memories. It's overly selective.
Right.
And then I also it's so personal. Like, I'm surprised people are able to write all of their most personal things. Just even being on this show is a challenge for me to bring pieces of my life to the table.
But that's why I feel like, why wouldn't you? Because you do show yourself. You do.
And writing a book would be easier than just off the dome. When you get a chance to edit, you get a chance to decide, you know, to talk about your life, what you feel as a youth, what happened when you became a mom,
Sarah,
you know,
I'd
you're
like to know
producing.
some things.
I know.
I know some things.
By the way, that's the other thing. It's not a good read.
It's going to be an amazing read. Well,
Well, I think this one's the dark one.
Right.
There's a lot to come out. Can I just say something that's very serious to me? Okay. My cat, Tiger Lily, is missing, and she's a Bengal.
Oh, she's beautiful.
And people might think that she's lost because she hasn't got a collar. She's extremely friendly and loves people. She's chipped. And if anybody's found a Bengal near Hancock Park, it's my Tiger Lily. Please get in touch with the studio. There's a massive reward. You could buy an island. Okay, thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
No,
sorry.
interruption.
All right.
No, that's not.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.